Hello, my name is Destinee Williams, and I am so excited to be applying at your nursing school. Thank you in advance for reviewing my video. The first question asks, why did you choose the St. David's School of Nursing at Texas State University, and how have you been prepared for our program? I always planned to apply at the Round Rock campus, mainly because I already attend the main campus back at St. Marcos, so it kind of felt like a necessary stepping stone for me. However, attending the tour at Round Rock campus shifted my perspective and allowed me to see beyond the proximity alone. Being on campus helped me understand my environment and what I will be pursuing as a potential nursing student. What stood out to me most was the sense of collaboration and support. Although the campus is smaller than the St. Marcos campus, I was so shocked at how engaging the community felt there. I wish I was lying when I said that there was either a student or a faculty member at every location that we stopped at. And they let us ask them questions or they gave us insight on the program as we walked through the halls with them. This provided my future with such comfort that I don't think I'll be able to receive anywhere else. And again, the campus is really small compared to the St. Marcos campus, but it made me realize that I would be surrounded by more nursing students than I would have ever thought. And I want to be around people who are just as driven about nursing as I am. So I feel like St. David's is just the place for that. The second question says, discuss a person, incident, or experience in your life that prepared you most to become a nurse who will care for a diverse population of people. So during my senior year, I was chosen to participate in my school's CTE program called the Health Science Theory and Clinical. Throughout the year, I was able to shadow nurses at hospitals and even gain hands-on experience at clinicals and nursing homes nearby. And this story in particular occurred in the memory care unit of the nursing home. I encountered a resident who only spoke Spanish, and although I did take 3 years of Spanish in high school, unfortunately I am not fluent. And I also noticed how the workers would often dust him off just because there was a simple language barrier between them. So instead of just walking away from him, I decided to actively just listen to him and piece together the small Spanish phrases where I could. This experience sticks with me because it shows me that I am capable of advocating for people who may not be able to advocate for themselves. And it also shows me that effective nursing doesn't just depend on perfect communication, but just the effort to meet the patient where they are. The third question says, tell us about your volunteer, work, or life experience that has prepared you for your career in healthcare. One experience that truly sticks with me and shows me that I was able to pursue a career in healthcare occurred when a man suffered a heart attack at my cousin's funeral. This was my first time ever stepping in as a first responder. And prior to that moment, I was often nervous thinking about how would I react in an emergency, especially when it comes to performing CPR in a high stress environment. But in that moment, my training that I haven't even practiced in nearly a year and a half kicked in. And I was able to remain calm and act quickly along the side of people until the proper help arrived. This experience showed me that I am more prepared than I ever give myself credit for. And this is coming from a person who has never did CPR on a real person in her life. And it confirmed my desire to work in healthcare, where being present and compassionate in critical conditions like that will really make a difference to save someone's life. The fourth question says, recognize the barriers technology can impose on conversations. How do you plan to overcome those barriers and engage with your patients? So technology can be very overwhelming for patients with large amount of information, especially when it comes to receiving a new diagnosis. And this is like receiving lab results with no explanation on it, or even medical charts that only somebody with the proper background knowledge will understand. So, as a nurse, I plan to intentionally provide understanding at the end of every interaction. Because it's very common for patients to have little to no background about different body systems. So, medical explanations can be very confusing or even intimidating. To overcome this, I would summarize the key points of the visit in non-technical language. So I would basically take the specific body system in particular and connect it to the symptoms that they were having, and then show them how they can eventually improve their well-being. This allows us to connect the gaps of understanding and gain clarity immediately instead of having to assume the information or look it up and hope for the best. And I want my patients to feel comfortable enough to ask me questions and be confident about what's happening with their health. Again, my name is Destinee Williams, and thank you for taking the time out to review my application.